Introduction. What is post-truth politics? Post-truth politics (PTP) refers to a recent historical period where political culture is marked by public anxiety about what claims can be publicly accepted as facts. Post-truth politics assumes that there previously was truth politics. This essay will concentrate on two topics. The first is defining what previous truth politics were. The second is to specifically answer how post-truth politics has emerged in the past decade. What was before post-truth politics? What is truth in this context? We will call the era before post-truth politics as fact-based politics. I am skeptical of this term, as it insinuates that political consensus existed in the 20th century. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Manufacturing Consent. In their seminal work Manufacturing Consent, The Political Economy of the Mass Media, 1988, Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky argue that even in the era of so-called fact-based politics, truth was mediated and shaped by powerful institutions. They describe how mainstream media acted as gatekeepers, setting the parameters for what could be considered legitimate discourse and framing narratives to serve elite interests. While the media of the 20th century might have relied on professional journalistic standards, these standards themselves were constrained by corporate ownership, advertising dependency, and political influence. The concept of manufacturing consent reveals that even in the pre-digital media age, truth was never neutral or universally agreed upon. Instead, it was constructed and maintained by powerful interests. This calls into question the idea of a truth politics preceding the post-truth era. How and why has post-truth politics developed? Distrust in media institutions, MSM, seems like a key ingredient in the PTP recipe. Why this distrust? A changing media landscape. Social media, as well as their hardware, smartphones, came into prominence in the late 2000s or early 2010s. Let's say 2011 for simplicity's sake. With this new form of media, we see the emergence of post-truth politics. Social media allowed anyone to produce, share, and consume information on common social media websites. This erosion of quality control allowed misinformation or disinformation to spread. You could say that the institutional checks and balances on shared truth were discharged. The theories in Manufacturing Consent offer valuable insights into how trust in mainstream media eroded. If media institutions once worked to frame public discourse within elite interests, the rise of social media disrupted their monopoly on information. However, this disruption did not eliminate bias, it merely decentralized it. Platforms like Facebook and Twitter became the new arbiters of information, guided by algorithms optimized for engagement rather than accuracy. Emotional over rational engagement. This shift facilitated emotional over rational engagement. Rather than appealing to objective truth, media, including social media, leaned into sensationalism to capture attention. This strategy fueled mistrust as audiences began to question the intentions and credibility of traditional gatekeepers. Decline of trust in institutions. Distrust is also politically polarized, where those identifying with one political party dislike and don't trust those of another. Distrust becomes the bearer of post-truth politics.